1937. A wheat farm in western Kansas. It is not yet 6 in the morning, and it is still dark. A boy of 10 walks out to the barn alone. He harnesses 2 big draft horses by feel, in the dark, buckling every strap in the right order. He leads them out to the field. By the time the sun is up, he has been plowing for an hour. He is 10 years old. Nobody is watching him. Nobody needs to, because they know he can do it. 100 years ago, a boy of 10 or 11 could do things that would stop most grown men cold today. Not because those boys were special, because they were needed. Work was not something a child was protected from. It was something he was raised into. And by the time he was 12, he was, in every way that counted, already useful. These are 15 of the things an ordinary American boy could do before he turned 12. Most grown adults cannot do half of them now. Number 9 was a responsibility we would never hand a child today. Number 4 is why a boy could be sent miles across open country, alone, and trusted to come home. And number 1 is not a skill at all. It is the reason they could do every other thing on this list. Subscribe before we start. Number 15. Build a fire, anywhere, in any weather. A boy was often the one who woke first and got the stove going before the house stirred. He knew how to lay it, tinder, then kindling, then wood, in order. He knew dry wood from wet, and how to find dry wood on a wet day. He could do it with cold hands, half asleep, in the dark. A warm house in the morning was a boy's doing. Number 14. Handle an axe. By 10, a boy could split a stack of firewood and not miss. He knew to keep the wood between the blade and his own leg. He kept the axe sharp, because a dull axe is the one that glances and cuts you. Chopping the wood that heated the house was often a boy's daily job, all winter. He was trusted with a dangerous tool, because he had been taught. Number 13. Tie the knots that mattered. Not decoration, working knots. A knot to secure a load on a wagon, one that would hold, and one that would come loose when you needed it to. He could lash, hitch, splice, and bind. A load that shifted on the road, or an animal that came untied, was a real problem. He learned them by hand, until his fingers knew them without his eyes. Number 12. Harness and drive a horse. Before the tractor, the horse was the engine of the farm, and the boy ran it. He could catch a horse, harness it, hitch it to a wagon or a plow, and drive it. He knew the animal's moods, when it was tired, when it was about to spook. A team of horses is 1,000 pounds of muscle with a mind of its own. We would not hand a child the keys to a truck at 10. They handed him the reins. Number 11. Milk a cow and mind the animals. Morning and night, every day, the cow had to be milked, and often that was the boy's job. He fed the chickens, gathered the eggs, watered the stock, mucked the stalls. The animals did not take a day off, and neither did he. He learned that something depended on him completely, twice a day, without fail. A boy who forgot the animals learned fast, because the animals suffered, and so did he. Number 10. Run a trap line. Many a boy ran a line of traps before school in the winter. He knew where the muskrat and the mink traveled, and how to set for them. He skinned and stretched the hides himself, and sold them for real money. That money bought his own boots, or his own rifle, or went to the family. A boy of 11 could run a small business out of the woods before breakfast. Number 9. Shoot and respect what a gun is. On a farm, a boy was taught to shoot, usually with a small single-shot rifle. But here's the part we have forgotten. He was taught safety long before he was taught to hit anything. Where the muzzle points always, treat every gun as loaded, and he was taught that it was for the table or for a threat to the stock, and never for fun. A single-shot rifle taught patience, because he had one round, and he made it count. It was a responsibility handed to a child with deadly seriousness, and boys rose to it. Number 8. Help put food up for the winter. When the weather turned cold, the family put up the meat, and everyone worked. A boy learned how meat became bacon, ham, sausage, and lard, and how nothing was wasted. He helped his mother can and preserve the garden, jar after jar, all through the summer. He understood in his hands exactly where his food came from because he had helped make it. Food was not something that appeared. It was something the whole family produced. Number 7. Work the land. A boy could plow a straight furrow, plant a field, hoe the weeds, and bring in the crop. He knew when the ground was ready and when the grain was ripe. During harvest, school waited because the harvest would not. His labor was not pretend. The family ate, or did not, partly because of it. He was, in a real sense, a working farmer before he was a teenager. Number 6. Handle himself in the water. Most farm and country boys learned to swim young, in the creek or the pond. They learned the water's dangers the hard way, and they respected it. Many could handle a small boat, row it, and read a current. Water was where they worked, fished, and cooled off, and they were at home in it. A boy who could not swim was a boy his mother worried about, so he learned. Number 5. Fix what broke. A boy could drive a nail straight, saw a board square, and repair a fence. He mended tools, patched a roof, and kept things working. When something broke, the first question was not who to call, it was how do we fix it? He grew up believing that most problems had a solution he could build with his own hands. That belief is worth more than any single skill on this list. Number 4. Find his way and read the sky. A boy could be sent across miles of open country on an errand, alone, and trusted to come home. He knew the land by its landmarks, the creeks, the ridges, the roads. He watched the sky and knew when to run for home ahead of a storm. There was no map in his pocket and no voice telling him where to turn. There was the country itself and a boy who had learned to read it. We would not send a 10-year-old that far alone today. They did it without a second thought. Number 3. Make his own fun and his own tools. With a pocket knife and a stick, a boy could make a whistle, a slingshot, a boat, a toy. If he wanted something, he did not ask for it. He made it. He built traps, carved handles, whittled figures, rigged fishing poles. His hands were never idle, because a boy who can make things is never truly bored. He learned that the world was raw material, and he was the one who shaped it. Number 2. Handle getting hurt. A boy who worked and roamed all day got hurt, and he learned to deal with it. He could clean a cut, wrap a sprain, pull a splinter, and get back to work. He learned the difference between a hurt that mattered and one that did not. He did not run to an adult for every scrape, because there was often no adult close by. He learned to be tough without being reckless, and to keep going. Number 1. Carry real responsibility, and be trusted with it. This is not a skill. It is the thing underneath all the others. A boy was given real jobs, with real consequences, that a family actually depended on. If he failed, the fire went cold, the animals went hungry, the crop was lost. He was not protected from that weight. He was handed it on purpose, a little at a time, and carrying it is what turned a boy into a man years before we would think to ask it. They could do everything else for one reason, because someone needed them to and trusted that they would. That boy in the Kansas field, plowing in the dark at 10 years old, was not unusual. He was ordinary. An entire country was full of boys just like him. Then the tractors came, and the child labor laws came, rightly ending the worst of it. And the families moved to the towns and the suburbs. Childhood got longer and safer and easier, and much of that was a genuine gain. But somewhere in the trade, we stopped needing our children. And a child who is never needed never learns what he is capable of. The skills can be taught again. The trust is the harder part. Hand a boy something real. Let it matter if he fails. Watch what he becomes. If you want more of what America used to know, subscribe. We are digging it back out, one skill at a time.